Left for dead in their own home, a young couple's grisly homicides still haunt Holland, Ohio to this day. We're taking you back to that horrific night and the murder that shook a suburb in today's True Crime Chronicles.
My son is in the basement tied up at his house. I just saw him through the window. The police were out here earlier and did absolutely nothing.
Okay, all right, we'll get them out there.
Get them cops out here. I told them earlier and they wouldn't listen to me.
You need to calm down. We'll get them out there. But yelling at me is unconscious.
They're unconscious, ma'am.
On January 30th, 2011, 21-year-old Johnny Clarke and 20-year-old Lisa Straub are found in their parents' home on the kitchen floor, their arms bound behind their backs, plastic bags duct taped over their heads.
Have you heard of another case in this area where someone was killed in the same manner?
To my knowledge, no. I haven't. That specific MO, we haven't had anything like that ourselves.
Investigators searched the house, but no evidence stands out except for one cigarette butt, a tiny piece of evidence that breaks the case wide open.
You tell me why your DNA was in my crime scene.
Police arrest and charge Samuel Todd Williams for the two murders. However, the cigarette butt may not be the smoking gun investigators hoped for.
I know that I was at the Bottom Line bar watching the Pro Bowl with a few other people.
We were at the Bottom Line watching the football games with his cousin Larry House, and it was his cousin's 21st birthday. He was with me that night. Cameo, I don't know where Cameo was.
That's enough. What if I tell you that you're not on the video with the Bottom Line on that night?
What do you mean?
The Bottom Line has video.
Right.
So you or Sam are not on that video.
The detectives do not have video from the bar. And phone records show that Williams made a call to Madrid at 10:27 p.m. that night. The call pinged off of a tower near the Bottom Line bar, a 30-minute drive from the crime scene. Johnny and Lisa were last heard from at 10:41 p.m.
And you hear, was it, bro, what are you doing? Or was it,
No.
bro, what are you doing?
Yeah, just like that.
Bro! Did he sound like he knew them people?
That's why I said I think that whoever did it, he knew.
Except for the cigarette butt with his DNA and several sets of unknown DNA, no evidence at the crime scene directly points to Williams or anyone else.
Don't know what you guys are talking about.
How did your DNA get in there then,
I
Sam?
have no idea.
I have no explanation. I know I did not place that there.
But a jury disagrees. On July 27th, 2012, the court finds Samuel Todd Williams guilty of killing Johnny Clarke and Lisa Straub. The judge gives him 2 life sentences with no chance of parole.
And even though there are still questions about his guilt, police are not looking into any new evidence. We couldn't believe this, so we talked to Brian Duggar, who covered the story, and take a look at what Brian had to say. Brian, thank you so much for being here. I just want to straight up ask you, why did you investigate a 10-year-old murder? What started you on this path?
Yeah, you know, I've been in the Toledo area since 1998. And whenever you're in a particular community for that long a time, there's always, you know, that certain crime that just kind of sticks out in your mind. And that was the case with this murder for me.
All right, I'm going to ask a question that anybody that's followed the story wants to ask, and that's what is stopping the sheriff's office from investigating the new evidence?
We know that there were 5, 6, maybe even 4 unknown sets of DNA in that house, and it didn't make sense to me why they didn't want to investigate, but one of the goals of this story was to get them to look at the case again, and particularly at that DNA, and I think we've been able to do that.
Now, I'm going to ask a pretty direct question here, and this is just your opinion. Do you think Sam Williams is innocent?
I think there's a lot of question about Sam Williams' guilt. I mean, he's maintained that he's been innocent for, 10 years now, and I think with my investigation, I was able to paint a pretty good timeline for him, that he was 20, 30 minutes away at the time that the murder happened. I was able to tell that through phone records, through witness statements. So I think there's certainly question, but the big hurdle for him to overcome is how does his cigarette with his DNA on it end up in a house that he said he was never in?
Right, it's that one cigarette butt. It's so interesting. So we've covered the broad strokes of the case here on the show, but trust me, there is so much more to it. So if you'd like to get those details, go to WTOL11.com. You can also check out Brian's full uncut interview with Sam Williams on WTOL's YouTube channel. We've also covered Johnny and Lisa's murder on our True Crime Chronicles podcast, which you can find online as well. Thank you, Brian, for just sticking with this case. I think it's people like you that'll bring justice. So thank you so much for doing that. We'll be right back.